It's possible. See, it says to us, you are beginning to shed the concept of the separate self and to believe in the possibility of response. You will find yourself more afraid to ask. It's like the more you realize you can do this, the more you'll be afraid to ask. Have you noticed that I often ask in every class, are there any questions? And it's very seldom that I get very many. It's just what he just got through saying. You are capable of responding, so you're less inclined to ask. Because then you would have to do it, and it would happen. If asking will give me what I want, and I don't believe I deserve what I want, I will never ask a question. Because I would receive what I asked for. That's deep.
Yeah.
Because you think with all the heavy stuff that we're talking about, we'd be all over each other with comments and questions and insights and all that stuff. So what I love about the truth is that you can see it's true while you're doing it. So I don't mean this from any kind of condemnation standpoint. Actually, what we're doing is proving everything that I'm reading on the page. It says it right here. Now that you are beginning to shed the concept of the separate self, are you not?
Right.
And to believe in the possibility of response,
Yeah.
you will find yourself more afraid to ask. But we won't call it fear. We'll just say, I have no questions.
Right.
Okay, we're never going to call it fear. Yeah, Then it says, all your asking or praying awaits. All your asking or praying or in prayer awaits is but your belief in the love without fear that has always responded. There is a love in you that has no fear, and it is that love in you that has no fear that has always responded to you and answered your questions and answered your prayers and is actually doing it right now in this moment. Where did this all come from to us to help us have joy? It had to come from the part of us that really loves us. This came from the part of us that really loves us. The part of us that doesn't love us wouldn't ever give us to us.
Right.
It would never draw a class like this to you. That's the proof that there's a part of you that absolutely loves you deeply.
Yeah.
This didn't happen by accident to someone standing in front of you saying you deserve to be happy and joyful and loved completely. That happened because there's a part of you, right, that believes in love without fear. And that part of you has responded. You had your hand up, Dolly?
Yes. How do you start registering in your heart that you deserve the response?
The way that you start registering in your heart that you deserve the response is to constantly express gratitude for everything that's happening in your life right now that you really appreciate. Because the more that you express gratitude, the more you are saying, I deserve this. Gratitude is, have you ever seen someone that you tried to give them something? Just the other night, I was complimenting a friend. And every time I would try to compliment him, he would deflect it. He would try to deflect it to the point that I went, will you please just accept the compliment that you are a valuable person, that you are a wonderful person? Because we think humility is self-debasement. So we think being humble means never saying you're right. Like if someone tells me, man, you look good, you feel good, I like the way you're thinking, I love the way you're being, Earl. My first response, and you all know what that is, thank you for your correct perception. And they love that because I want to agree with you. Even if I don't feel that way today, I might feel like I might feel like crap that day. And someone tell me how I look more radiant than they've ever seen in their life. If I'm in my sane mind, I want to side with that. Even if I don't feel like it. So they giving me a correct perception. It's my perception of myself that's messed up because I'm not feeling good about myself right now. So my perception is screwed up. And I'd rather believe what you say about me if it's loving than what I'm telling myself at any given moment. And I know enough of the truth to know that if you're saying something loving to me, that is the correct perception. So I say thank you for the correct perception.
That's cool.
So that's how you begin to do it. You do it through the gratitude that you have for the things in your life that you know you're grateful for, because that's you acknowledging that you deserve it and that you're open to it and that you're receiving it. And also give it the heavy light test. You know, if it's feeling heavy, it's not true for you. I didn't say it wasn't true. I said it's not true for you. It's not the thing for you right now in this moment. If it's lighter, it is. That's very important. The universe is simple. God is simple. Everything 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 is simple. It's all simple. I didn't say that it wasn't different. Very different. And that's what makes it seem hard. So thank you for listening to this much. And you have to meet this much tonight. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Woo! All right. So please.
Somewhere deep in the jungle, living so little man and women. They are awesome.
If you want to bypass the conflict that you think you're going through in your life right now, if you want to bypass the conflict of the separated thoughts that you think you're having right now, then you want to conceive of having your heart and your mind all focused on the same goal. You got to be trained to do this. This is not going to happen through positive thinking. This is not going to happen through positive thinking, even though thinking positively is a wonderful thing to do. Your mind has to be trained. 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 And your training begins. Your training begins with prayer. 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 Prayer, 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 prayer. Praying is asking. Praying is asking. Practice putting everything into the form of a question. When you find yourself making a statement, turn it into a question. When you find yourself drawing a conclusion, change it to a question. You are asking. So asking is praying, and giving is asking. Giving is asking. Because what you give is what you receive. Since what you give is what you receive, then whatever you give, you're asking for. Whatever you give, you're asking for. Whatever you give, you are asking for. Whatever you give. Whatever I give, I'm asking for. Whatever I give, I am asking for. Whatever I give, I am asking for. So are you giving peace or giving conflict? Are you giving peace or giving anger? Are you giving love or giving fear? Are you giving guilt or giving innocence? Are you giving? Whatever you're giving is what you are asking for. It's also clear that you need to get clear as to who is doing the asking. Who is doing the asking? Is it your ego asking, or is it your spirit asking? Is it your real self that loves you asking, or is it the part of you that thinks you don't deserve it that is asking? And if you're coming from the part of you that just thinks it's separate from everybody, the part of you that just thinks it is a body, then even though you're receiving lots of answers, you won't be able to respond and you won't be able to hear the answer. So in order to hear an answer, you tune into the part of you that wants to be joined with everyone, in peace with everyone, in oneness with everyone. So ask out of peace, because peace is oneness. Ask out of your peace, because peace is oneness. Ask out of your peace, because peace is oneness. So when you ask out of conflict, you're asking out of your separated self, and you won't even hear the friggin' answer when you receive it. You'll be in such conflict that when God answers your prayer, you won't even recognize it. So try to at least give yourself 10 seconds of peace. Get into the now moment for at least 10 seconds so that you can possibly ask in peace so you can hear the answer. I want you to ask in peace so that you can hear the answer. So all your praying and all your asking, the only thing that it's waiting for is for you to believe in the love without fear that has always responded. Believe in the love in you that isn't afraid. Believe in the love in you that is not afraid. Believe in the love in you that isn't afraid. That love that's always responded. That love that has always guided you, protected you, taken care of you. Because it hasn't been your separated self taking care of you. That's the trick. You haven't been taking care of you. The love that created you has been taking care of you. And your ego has been trying to take credit for it, but that's okay. Praying is asking. Praying is asking. Live in the question. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget, pick the simple stuff. Try to remember the simple stuff. Try to remember the easy stuff, not the complicated stuff. Pardon yourself. Please pardon yourself. Please revoke your sentence. Please. All right. Hugs are available. Love you.